My name is Matt McCarthy, and this is Rent versus Own Analysis of a Personal Residence. So first I have our Excel sheet here, and I will start putting in the specifications. The first thing is the purchase price, so $250,000. And then initial rent is going to be $1,600, but that's per month. Multiply that by 12. Oops. And then rental growth rate is going to be 3%. Property growth rate is going to be 3%. Insurance is going to be $1,000. Maintenance is $2,500. Expense growth is 3%. Marginal tax rate is 28%. Property tax rate is 2%, and selling expense is 7%. The loan to value ratio is 80%. So our loan amount will be $250,000 times our 80%, so $200,000. Our interest rate is going to be 5% for 30 years. And then payments per year is 12. Our annual debt service payment I'm going to have to actually figure out the loan constant first. Equals PMT. Take our interest rate divided by 12. And then 30 times payments per year. And then our present value would be -1. We'll take that times 12 years, 6.44%. And then for our annual debt service, it's just going to be 7 times 1%, 12,888. And our total investment is just going to be equal to our 250,000 minus 200,000, so 50,000 total. So all of those are in there. Our payment per year is obviously going to be the same each year, so that's going to be our 12,884. So I'll do this. Take that across. All right, our balance. Doing an if statement. I'm not too familiar with them, but I kind of know what's going on. So we're going to do age. So we're 30 years. It's greater than. Minus 25 plus 1 and take our debt service payment, put that there, divided by constant. Take all of that, divided by our payment of, it's going to be our rate. That's going to be constant all the way through. And then we're going to divide that by our number of years. That's going to be constant all the way through also. And then bracket that. Oops. There we go. And then our present value is going to be our number of payments I'm not too familiar with the ifs, so I am slowly learning how to do them. So then we're going to take that minus, just like we did in the beginning. It's going to be plus 1. That finishes off our bracket there. I'm going to take all of that multiplied by our payments, and that's going to be constant. And then -1. Finish off our brackets. And value if false is 0. And there we go. 197,049. I should be able to drag that across and get all of those for each year. Now I will find the interest. So the first thing I do there is equals bracket. So we'll take our debt. That's going to be constant. And then we're going to take our 200,000. It's going to also be a constant minus our balance. Get 9,993. And then there is an if statement right here. And what we're going to do is take our balance, if that's greater than 0, and then our debt, this is going to be a constant number. And then we are going to take our balance minus this year's balance. That'll give us the second year interest rate, and then I should be able to copy this all over. And then our principal is just going to be our payment and then we're going to subtract from that our interest. $29.51. We should be able to copy that all over. So that gives us all of that data so far. So our property value in year 0 is going to be $250,000, and it's going to appreciate every year by, I believe, 3%. So we're going to take our 250, multiply that by 1 plus our percentage, which is going to be right here, 3%. Can make that a constant. And enter. You should be able to drag that across. 289. So our rent, I'm going to start off at $19,200, and that is going to go up each year as well. One plus, and then our rent should go up by 3% as well. That'll be a constant also. Should be able to drag that across. 21.6. Right, our property taxes should be $5,000 to begin with. Find that out. Take our property tax rate, multiply that by the total amount, get 5,000. Should be able to drag that across. Oh, I did that wrong. Can't use that number. Use that number. There we go. Our insurance, I believe, is 1,000. Yep. And that's going to grow every year as well. So we'll take that number and multiply it by our growth rate, 1 plus our expense growth rate, and that's going to be a constant. Enter. I'm going to drag that across. 1126.